Hey, Darren, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. This is my first time here. Thanks so much, Joe. I really enjoy your videos.
Yeah.
Um, one of the main things that I'm wondering about is, are, am I projecting everything that I'm experiencing, or are there other me's? Um, how do I know that you guys exist? How do I know that I'm just not, like in a dream, it's all you, right? There's really no one else there. It seems like there's people there when you're in the dream. So is this just just another dream, and this is just me, and I'm just fabricating all this stuff? That's
So
what I
that
wonder.
that's called solipsism, which is the belief that there's only one mind, and it's my mind. And the opposite of that is nihilism, which is like nothing has any meaning. Both of these are extremes. And let me ask you this: what do you how do you perceive your experience? How does it come across to you?
It seems like I'm this old grumpy man with a lot of back pain and just trying to pay bills and make his way in his life. That's what it seems like.
Yeah. So this is a
Um,
really good time to explore um, the beautiful teachings of Advaita Vedanta, which is who is the knower of that idea that you're a grumpy man with back pain.
yeah,
Who knows that? How is that
it's
known?
it's gotta be me, right?
Right. So if you know that, can you be the grumpy old man with back pain?
I don't want to be grumpy old man.
But can you be what you perceive? Are you this cup?
Uh-uh.
Are you your hat? Are you your ears?
Uh-uh.
Are you your eyes? Are you your thoughts?
Mm-mm.
Are you the thinking?
That's a good one.
Mm, it's
I
getting
I
closer.
I don't think I am. I mean, I've meditated before, and thought like, don't think anything, and then it's like, oh, there's a thought, there's a thought. So I can't be the thoughts. I can't control them.
That's
And
right.
from that standpoint, it doesn't seem like it's me. But as I go about my
Yeah,
day and these thoughts are going
yeah.
off, and uh, it sort of feels like me. But
Yeah, that was very, very interesting and skillful. That when we asked, "Are you your like eyes?" You said no, you was very clear no. When we said, "Are you your thoughts?" You was like nah, and then we said, "Are you the thinker?" And then it starts to the belief system starts to step in. Why do you
okay,
think that is? Why do you think that is?
years of conditioning, I
That's it.
guess.
You said it in a different way because you're identifying. That's what you're identifying with. You're not identifying with your eyes or your hat or your ears, but you're identifying with your thinking over and over all day, every day. And if you
Do
identify with something, you start to think you're it.
do I have control, or in me as awareness?
Don't have control
Do
over
I have any
anything.
control over this dude?
There's nothing. There is no dude. There's nothing to control. There's nothing. There is no control over anything. There's just happening. It's just happening right now. This.
That's wild. Is there another awareness for like, or is it just all
Yeah.
one field of awareness?
There's two awarenesses. That's why it's called duality. Two duality. I'm only joking. There's only one awareness, and it's so. If you was to have a dream, and you was to dream yourself inside a Zoom call with nine other people, how many awarenesses would be in that call inside the dream?
Oh, just one.
Right, appearing as what? the different awarenesses, all what's said, the different stories of each character, the different quality of each person, the different energy, everything would all be a really rich display within your mind, but it's all dreamt by you. So now that's God, that is your mind dreaming. And one way we can call awareness is the mind of God. So the mind of God is dreamt all these characters into existence, but the skillfulness is the knower is the mind of God. So the knower within all of us is the mind of God. Just like in your dream, the knower of all of us in your dream would be Darren. And that's it.
What is it? Is it sort of like a matrix where, you know, like the movie The Matrix, like I'm plugged into the matrix and trying to get free from the matrix, but is there somebody else that says, "Oh, along this path, I'm awareness, and I'm
So if there was
dreaming
if you dreamt a matrix in your dream, what would that matrix be made of?
of like a projection or imagination?"
It'd be
And
made of your own awareness. So what's happening here is you confuse yourself by taking different ideas and things and making them outside of awareness. So you say everything's awareness, and you say, yeah, but if there was a matrix, and so you've just whatever you point to, whatever you say, it's awareness. There's nowhere else for it to be. There's nowhere else for it to come from. There's nothing else it can be made of. There's just this. That's it.
but whatever we talk about, either the screen or whatever, it always seems separate. There's like an awareness or a knower, and like in the English sentence structure, you got a subject and a predicate. Like I'm in a meeting listening to Joe, but it seems like what you're telling me is Joe is
Okay.
actually awareness, but I feel like I'm awareness here, but what you're
Yeah.
saying is what I'm maybe perceiving is actually awareness too.
So everything that you're describing right now is giving power to the minute and subtle thoughts that create reality. So, for instance, if I do this, my hand appears further away from this hand.
Yeah.
So that creates a reality. But so there's the description of the hand, which I can see, and I can see the description of the hand, but I don't pay attention to the other perception that's currently there, which is the distance between the hands. So if I keep the distance, the perception of the distance between the hands as real, I can't see that it's all an illusion. So you're seeing part of the illusion, but there's subtle thoughts saying, but this is that, and that's there, and that happened then. And the constructor of this perception, it's all awareness. The hand here, the hand there, the distance between the two, or everything is a thought occurring within awareness, but some of them are super silent and super subtle. So, for instance,
Mm,
when you perceive a sound, it happens simultaneously. The sound occurring and the perception of it are
mm,
concurrent. There isn't a gap between the two. There's not a bong and a perception, but we create one. And that's all the mind does. It creates a very interesting and believable, like illusional world. And this isn't even purely a spiritual discussion. This is also scientifically verified that the mind is creating a world. That's why it's so inaccurate. Like every single person here right now has two blind spots about there. And the mind just says, no, I'm just going to fill that in. But there, you can't see, somewhere around there. It's scientifically proven the mind fills it in. And that's what's happening here. All of the subtle thoughts are keeping these questions alive. So you've got two choices. Either you investigate every question until you exhaust it, which you can do if you want, or you leave them be.
What fascinates me is that if I'm the knower, I'm the awareness, and all the stuff around me is actually the same stuff. I'm wondering why I'm just not floating through fractals, and everything seems very solid and organized,
Yeah, you're
and
doing it again. You're literally you're halfway across the river, right? You're like, if I'm awareness and everything's awareness, but then why aren't the other appearances appearing as awareness? Why are they appearing as gravity and fixation and position? So you're kind of
yeah.
halfway across the river here. Just decide if you want to go all the way or not. You know,
Pull me to the other side.
you're skillfully seeing that you are awareness and all that you perceive as awareness, because everything is perceived as in and through awareness, but you have a series and collection of exceptions that are not awareness, which is the perceptions that make up the 3D appearance. Just let it be. It's not going to go away. If you allow them to be awareness, you're not suddenly going to float off. And we already are all floating around, but nothing's going to change. Just these questions will diminish, and then you'll feel more instinctively knowing of your nature. That's all it is.
What about the past and the future? Obviously, the future hasn't happened yet, and the past is obviously it's happened. Am I generating in real time?
Okay,
I'm
so
49 years old. Do I generate these 49 years of history in my mind in the present, or is
when
that
you
all set in stone?
so when if you're in a dream, right? You're dreaming and you
Yeah,
dreamt your whole life. You dreamt
yeah.
40 something years in a dream tonight. And you're walking across the road and uh, something happens and you wake up. What happened to your past?
In the
In
dream,
the Yeah,
it just goes
right.
away, and you
That's what
realize, oh,
happens
that was
when
just
that's what
imagined.
happens when you wake up here. When you wake up here, your past evaporates. You can still remember it, but it doesn't have any power, because you know that that any memory I have is just occurring right now as this.
Is this sort of like the Plato's dream, where you realize that what you're seeing are shadows of yourself, and that
Similar. That's one of the very earliest, the Paleto allegory, the caveman allegory, right? Yeah, that's one of the earliest visions. It's slightly different, but it's along the same lines. But here, I like to keep it very simple, because um, what happened to me in my life is that I felt at one point I had a past of suffering. I was very clear about that I'd had this difficult past, a difficult childhood, right? And I realized one day that if I woke up, I had a really bad wake up. I woke up and there was really bad news, and then I felt really unwell, and then someone attacked me in my apartment, and I walked downstairs and I fell down the stairs, and I walked out into the street and people were shouting at me, and I crossed the road and I turned and a truck hit me, and I woke up from the dream. And I realized that as soon as I woke up, all of that troubled morning evaporated with it. And I never again after that recognition felt I had a difficult past.